Lads. Lads, welcome to another Sheffield United match reaction. We've just beaten Brighton 1-0 at home. Let's be honest, if we were going to win a game, it would only be by one goal, wouldn't it? And we won the game. Did we deserve to win the game? Possibly not. Brighton had most of the ball. Even in the first half, I thought we had a lot of the ball in the first half, but looking at the possession stats, we didn't. We were in the 30s, and they were in the 60s. So, yeah, both halves we got played off the park, really. Obviously, McGoldrick just scored in the 19th minute. And, yeah, fair enough. If it still would have been 0-0, we may have had more of the ball. We did sit back like most teams do. But for me, it was a game of 4 chances, I think, what I'm remembering, if I'm remembering rightly. Neil Maupay missed 2 golden chances for Brighton. Obviously, early on in the game, he went through one-on-one, a great ball through to him. Fleck was trying to get back, but he wasn't quite there. Ramos came to narrow the angle and took one either in the chest or on the shoulder or in the face or something. But it didn't matter. As long as he got anything on the ball to stop that from going in the back of the net, because it could have been a cricket score if they'd have scored from that, because they were definitely better going forward in this game than we were. But contrary to that, in the 19th minute, we scored a goal. Way! And you probably guessed who it is already. David McGoldrick, the top scorer. He couldn't buy a goal last season, or for the most part. Definitely didn't buy a goal whilst the fans were there. But yeah, this season, he's been probably the best player. A lot of people are calling for Ramos to get player of the season, but I'm not a fan of that. I think he's only played well for the second half of the season. Didze has done it throughout. He's been great. He's been our only attacking option for most of the season, which is pretty sad to say. And he got this goal in the right place at the right time. That's what you've got to say. Ozzy gets the ball on the left, whips the ball into the box, into a dangerous area towards David McGoldrick. And then it gets kind of half cleared, coming out to Ryan Brewster. He gets something on the ball. He just pressurized the defender into kind of, I think it came out, I think it hit the defender off Bruce and then back off the defender, straight to David McGoldrick. He wasn't offside because, 1, it came off a Brighton player, and 2, the goalkeeper and a defender were back. So it was a bit weird. It just landed to him right in the middle of the goal, and it's like, straight away I thought, oh, he's got to be offside because he's really close to the goal, but obviously a player on the line. It was kind of an easy finish in a way. I said on the watch along, I think if he'd have caught it perfectly, the goalkeeper might have saved it, but he kind of scuffed it into the back of the net and it went straight down the middle. And yeah, that was 1-0. Sheffield United 1-0 up again at home. We've done quite a bit this season, but we've not always finished on the winning side. But yeah, that's our 5th win of the season. We've got 17 points now. Still quite embarrassing, but from watching how we've played this season, I was thinking, we might not even win another game this season. So it's nice to pick 3 points up. It's always great to see your team win a game wherever you are in the league, whether you're bottom of the league, top of the league. It's always good to see your team win. And it's nice to go to bed, especially at this time, and have seen your team win, because I've been to bed so many times angry because of how badly we've played. So, yeah, I'm not saying that we played terrific tonight. We did okay going forward, but we didn't really create many more chances. It was really similar to the Aston Villa game, them all over us. But I do think that Brighton definitely offered more going forward than Aston Villa did. Aston Villa were just lumping it into the box and nothing was coming from it. Brighton opened us up a few times, but towards the end of the game, when you've kind of got every man behind the ball, it's so difficult to break a team down. And that is really what Brighton struggled with in that second half. we'll talk about the disallowed goal because it came in the 56th minute, 10 minutes into the second half. It was such a weird one because it felt like something that Osborne should have just clipped away, but it also looked like he'd clipped it in the bottom corner himself. It was a really weird one. It just kind of, I don't know if it ricocheted around a little bit, but it kind of just landed for, and I forgot the Brighton player's name. It is Moda. He just clipped it into the bottom corner. Great finish for a defender as well. Excellent finish. Right into the bottom corner. Ramos didn't see it coming. But it kind of got headed up in the air, and he was kind of on the line pretty much. So he was miles offside. But for me at the time, when it got headed up in the air, I was thinking, has the ball gone forward? Is he actually offside? Because he was definitely in an offside position. But if the ball either goes backwards, or I don't know. If the ball goes backwards, it's not offside. So I was thinking, is he offside? But it got kind of cleared up really, really quickly, which was great for us. Referee straight away, boom, yeah, offside. They must have told him in his ear. But no one really kind of looked at it properly, I don't think. It got swept under the carpet really quickly. And if that was me and it was Sheffield United, I might have been looking at that a few more times. But anyway, it was apparently offside. We move on. And Brighton certainly did kind of dominate the game for the most part. I think the only really good chance that we had was Jayden Bogle got into a good position into the box and could only get a toe end onto it. The keeper saved it because he was stretching for it. It was a lovely works move down the right-hand side. And yeah, just couldn't get enough on that to put it past the goalkeeper. But Maupay definitely had an excellent chance. However, I think it's two different opinions, mine and Hal on the watch-along. Hal thought it was a sitter. I thought it wasn't. I thought it was quite a difficult chance because the ball got played beautifully into the box, but he was kind of in front of the ball and it got played behind him. So he had to kind of try and get his foot behind him and try and flick it in, and that's why it went over the bar. So for me, it wasn't as cut and dry as like, oh, that's a sitter, that's a dodler, that's a tap-in. It wasn't for me. But I still think he should have scored. It was an open net. It was a great run down the right. And I can never say his name. Jan Bash, I think it is, something like that. He was excellent when he came on. Great down that right-hand side. Had Ender Stevens on toast for most of that second half. But we dug in down that left-hand side. They really, really dug in. I think that Kean Bryan had his number for towards the end of that match. So that was good because he really did. And as you can probably see, I'm looking at the screen now because they're showing back all the chances. Well, all the few chances. And really, other than that really good chance for Maupay in the second half and the one in the first, there wasn't a great deal for Brighton. I think they did really well, got in some good positions, got some good balls in, caused us problems. But I can't remember any real clear-cut chances. Basuma hit one that went wide. Ramos made a few decent saves that you really would expect him to make. I don't think Ramos made a save today where I thought, wow, that is a banger of a save. So, yeah, just really happy with that. I'll quickly go through how the team played. I'll pop it on screen right now. I thought, first of all, Ramsdale, very good, assured, didn't do anything wrong, took a ball right at the end, high up in the air, and it was like, get yourself on the ground, waste some seconds. He played well. He made some really good saves. Obviously, the one from Maupay in the first half, where he saved it with his chest or whatever, it just made himself big. You're not coming past here. And to be honest, if this was a different day, Maupay would have put those chances away. But can't take anything away from Ramos. Excellent save, especially for that first one. George Baldock was playing in the I'll pop this here. George Baldock was playing on the right hand side of the centre backs, and I thought he played really well again. I do want to see Basham back there next season, or even some part of this season maybe. But he's done well every time he's played there. He's done well, so I've got nothing Nothing bad to say about Bulldog, and I never would want to because I love the guy. Puts in 100% every single game. So, yeah, big fan of George Bulldog. Egan just headed everything, headed and kicked. That's what we like to see from Egan. We don't want to see Egan do too much because if he's doing too much, that means that, yeah, they're attacking us a lot more and they're causing us more problems. But, yeah, he did as much as he needed to do, and that's what we want to see. Kean Bryan, I don't think he did too badly. I think he got done over a couple of times, but also at the same time, he did well in that position. There was there's a couple towards the end where Jan Bash was like trying to get round him, and he was like, "Nah, either way you're going, I'm not going to let you get away from me," and that was nice to see. I thought Andy Stevens did okay in attacking areas, got stuck in, but he still got done a couple of times by Jan Bash on that right hand side or left hand side for Andy Stevens. I thought Bogle was very quiet, other than that chance where he got himself in the box. But that's what we want. That's how Sheffield United's always played. We want our fullbacks to get forward and score goals. Look at Kieran Freeman. Look at Kyle Walker. Look at Cal Norton. Look at Matty Lowton. All these players, even Tony McMahon, these sort of players, they always found themselves in the box trying to score a goal. And that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. And George, that's sometimes something that he's let down by. But George, yeah, I'll never say a bad word about George. Such a great servant to the club and 100% every game. Yeah, but it was nice to see Bogle and George both play at the same time. Very good because we don't see that a lot. It felt a bit weird, the formation, because it felt like Flecky and Norwood were playing at the side of each other like they did in the Championship. And then it felt like Osborne was just kind of roaming, not necessarily playing that Duffy role, because obviously Duffy played it much more attacking. He's just kind of a nuisance, and that's great. And Brighton did not like at all him running around like a madman today, trying to nick the ball off him. And obviously created the goal for Dave McGoldrick. So very well done again, Ozzy. Another one that gives 100% every single week. And you don't really ever want to give him stick. I think sometimes his creativity isn't quite there. But yeah, big fan. Big fan of the boy. Obviously, I've just glossed over Flecky and Norwood, but I thought they both put a shift in today. Flecky is getting better and better, and I think his defending today was excellent at times because it was going down that right hand side, and Fleck was getting those tackles in there, and he was getting rid of that ball. I think it was more of a defensive performance off them both today, but in the first half, I did see Ollie Norwood a lung-busting run from Ollie Norwood, which I don't think we've ever seen him in a Sheffield United shirt do something like that. Maybe earlier on in his career, but he's definitely not a quick player. He's definitely not one of those sorts of players. But it was nice to see it. Move on to the strikers. I thought Ryan Brewster actually did quite well. He was unlucky to get injured and come off because I wouldn't have brought him off today. I thought he did well. I like to see him on the ball as much time as possible. I like to see the ball break to him to have a shot around the box because he did have one in the first half that got blocked. But yeah, I want to see him unleash one of those rasping drives and hit the back of the net. It will happen at some point. And when that goal comes, 3, 4, 5, 6 goals will come. Maybe not this season, probably not this season, but definitely next season. Did say dropping deep, going left, going right, going everywhere. That's what he does. That's what we like to see from Didsey. And obviously got the goal, I can't remember, 7 or 8 for the season, I think it is, from Didsey. So, yeah, in a poor season, Didsey's been one of those shining lights, which has been for many years for the Blades now. They were looking at two other seasons. So this is his 3rd season as a Blade, if I'm right. He's just been excellent. Love the guy. And then coming off the bench was, obviously, Johnny Lundstrom came on. That's a talking point in itself. I thought that Ollie Burke was, I don't know, we said on the watch-along, not sure when was the last time Ollie Burke had a good game. He's gone from being this animal that just wants to chase down and score goals and get stuck in. It's kind of like doing it half-hearted. Like, he will do that. He will sprint off and beat a defender to a ball. But I don't know. He just doesn't feel like he's putting it in as much as when Chris Wilder was the manager, which I don't know if that's got anything to do with old Paul Heckeybum. But yeah, it just doesn't seem the same player. But saying that, at the end of the Wilder reign, Wilder wasn't playing him. So maybe he's just fallen out of favour with Wilder and he's just lost that little bit of confidence, which I'd like to see back because I think he's a very, very, very big asset to the club, especially going into next season in the Championship. I think he could really, really be a massive thorn in Championship sides. So it'd be nice to see Ollie Burke get back playing football the way that he was kind of when we played Man United at home and Arsenal away, those sorts of games. I'm not sure if there's any other players that came on. No, it was just those two. Yeah, I'm surprised at that, actually. But that's about it. Let's get into the comments and see what other people are saying. So, thought Didsey could have played Bruce in a couple more times, but he's still our top player. Absolutely, yeah. There was one time where Didsey was going through the middle and Brewster was on the left-hand side. Could have slipped him in. I think there was a man over, so it wasn't as easy as slip him in and he would have been in. But he overplayed it and he ended up giving the ball away, which, yeah, it was quite poor. It was quite poor from Didsey at times. Go on, Didsey, your best player, hands down. I agree that. Roberto, 5-year contract, tie him down now. I don't know who you're talking about, whether that is McGoldrick or not. Why haven't we played like this all season? Lila, I completely agree with that. It's really, really gutting to see us play like that because really, yeah, don't get me wrong, I still think we'd go down. If we play like that for the rest of the season, I still think we'd go down because we don't have that cutting edge. But at the same time, we definitely wouldn't be that far away from second bottom. We may even be second bottom or third bottom. Ewan, my mate, regarding second for Morpie finish over the bar, it was me crossing to you. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people won't know me and Ewan went to school together. Really good mates at school, and I used to ask Ewan to cross the ball and for me to do the Zola flick, and I did actually achieve that, the Zola flick, in an actual match, in a competitive match. So all those hours that we spent doing that definitely didn't go amiss. So yeah, thank you, Ewan, for all that. But yeah, it needed that little flick, didn't it? And Morpé doesn't have the skill that I have, obviously, and Gianfranco Zola, who was actually, believe it or not, in the studio. I didn't know that until just now because I wasn't really paying attention to the TV other than when United were playing, because we obviously were doing a watch along. Let me bring up Hal's. That skill from Didsey. Do you know what? I thought about that as I was talking and then it got away from me. So I'm glad you brought that up, Hal. The skill from Didsey. I still don't really remember what he did and how he did it because we never saw it again. But I am sure that Sheffield United social media team will have that on TikTok, on Twitter, everywhere. And Hal said, that skill from Didsey, highlight of the season, good backs to the wall performance and a good win. We'll take it, roll on Spurs. Definitely, because we need that confidence going into these games when we're playing these big teams, because it's going to be difficult to go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I think it's called. Great name for a stadium. I don't know where they came up with that name for it. But yeah, it was a backs to the wall performance. I don't particularly think we defended that well in large spells in that game. Because they got in behind us a few times, and if it wasn't for with a little bit more quality, I think that Brighton they could have at least got a point, if not 3. Great win for you, Nick. Well done, Sheffield United. Thank you very much, mate. Really do appreciate that. It's been a tough season, as you could probably expect. So yeah, it's just nice to see us win another game. It doesn't matter right now. We know we're down. We know we're not going to beat Derby's points record. So really right now, anything is just an advantage taking into next season, because it's going to be difficult to get out of the Championship. But look at Watford and look at Norwich. They've bounced straight back up. And I'm not sure where, I'm trying to think who the other team was now. It was Bournemouth, wasn't it? But you never know. Bournemouth could win the playoffs and all three teams could go straight back up. And if that happens next season, I'll be very happy too. I feel Brighton and Potter have been very unlucky this season, especially against us, because they, I don't know, in the first game at the Amex, I think that we deserved the 3 points. I think we defended excellently. Ollie Burke could have finished the game off late on in the game, and then they managed to nick a point. I feel like today we've possibly nicked 3 points because I think Brighton really should have got something from that game. But I definitely do think the game earlier in the season, Brighton nicked a point from us, and they nearly nicked 3 points actually. So anyway, I think we're going to leave it there. I'm just going to quickly pop Paul GA's comments up. Where do you think Lunny will be playing next season? He thinks he'll be in the Premier League. I think the only way Lundstrom's going to be playing in the Premier League if someone gives him a massive punt on Lundstrom, because if they've watched him this season, they will realise that he is not good enough to play Premier League football. He's not even starting for us. And if he was actually playing well, he would be starting for us, because he was playing for us when he were playing poorly. Crazy. I think he'll be in Scotland. I think he'll go and join Stevie G at Rangers, if I'm being completely honest, because I don't think he'll want to play Championship football, especially the wages that he's wanting, not Championship wages. So he's going to want to either play Premier League football or a club in a worse league that is it kind of in Europe, like your Rangers. So yeah, I'm not sure, if I'm being completely honest. Who'd have thought Newcastle would avoid relegation? Fair play to Bruce. Yeah, I know, because I don't think they've got a very good team, and I don't think Steve Bruce is a very good manager. So fair play. Is Keane Bryan Premier League quality? No, not for me. And do you know what? If we did let him go, or somebody came in and bought him, I wouldn't be that bothered, because I hope that next season Jack O'Connell will be back, fighting fit, and he will be every bit Jack O'Connell that he was when he got injured. And I hope we don't lose him. As I said, Rangers, Hal, that's exactly what I thought. Your Rangers, your Celtics, your Aberdeens. This game has summed up Brighton's season of luck. Yeah, fair enough. But Brighton are in a much better position than us, so I'm not feeling sorry for Brighton one little bit. And finally, believe it or not, a Chelsea fan asking about Ampadu. Ampadu didn't play today. I think Ampadu's had an up and down season. I think his first half of the season, he was shocking, really poor. Second half of the season, I think he's done really well. And I think the only reason why Ampadu didn't start today, or he didn't start against Leeds, is simply because he's not going to be here next season. And we need to kind of hit the ground running for next season. So playing players that are going to be in next season is probably a good idea. Feel sorry for Ampadu, really, because I don't think he deserves to be on the bench. But it's one of them things. And finally, Harris Ahmed. Who do you think will get relegated with 5 games to go? If I'm being completely honest, mate, I think it'll stay how it is. I really do. And I think by me saying that is, I think it's going to be West Brom, and I think it's going to be Fulham. Let me just make sure I've said that right. Yeah, West Brom, Fulham. There's a lot of points between Burnley and Fulham. There's 6 points, and Burnley's got a match in hand. So I can't see it changing. It's nowhere near as tight as it was last season. And it don't matter anymore for us, so I don't really care. 3 best players this season, I've got to say, David McGoldrick, Egan. You still got to say Egan's been brilliant. And I'm going to either say Ramsdale or Ben Osborne. Difficult, because Ramsdale's only had half a good season. GGMU TV, there you go. That is your shout out, mate. I like the intro, Nick. Leave it to the pros. Yes. Love that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. Really, really appreciate everyone being here. Make sure you like the video before you go. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel, because we are coming up to 13,000. Nowhere near, but we are past 12,000. So it's on the road to 13,000. So thank you very, very, very much. Oh, Bogle. I think Bogle does deserve a bit of a shout out as well, because he has been one of the best players of the season. We've just not seen a lot of him recently, have we, Hal? So anyway, let's leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Really, really appreciate you all being here. Like I said, like the video, subscribe before you go, because it really, really helps these videos kind of get out further than we can normally get them out. So thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.